Hi, everyone. Welcome to American Heritage uh, University Virtual College Fair. We are so excited to have you all here tonight. We have some great representatives here to share some wonderful information. But before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping rules or items to go over at this time. First, if you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are there and readily available to answer any questions that you have. And we also ask that you put the college or university that you're referring to if you have a specific question. Your microphone and camera is off, you are muted, and your video is off, so the panelists can't see or hear you. If you're interested in reviewing this recording later, this recording will be available a week from today. So all sessions will be recorded and available at the same page that you registered. Before we introduce our first representative, I do want to point out where my mouse is circling. You are in session C4, so these are the order of the representatives that will be sharing tonight. So without further ado, I'm excited to start with Rochester Institute of Technology.
Okay, good evening. Thank you for joining us. My name is Molly Lane, and I am an assistant director in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at Rochester Institute of Technology, or RIT. Just a little bit of general information. We do like to think of ourselves as a large university with a small feel. So as you can see the numbers here, we are a pretty big school, but we do offer very small classes, 22 students on average, which is very small for the size of our university, small student to faculty ratio. Our population at RIT is also very diverse as far as where we are represented across the United States and different countries. And we are home to one of two deaf and hard of hearing colleges in the country. So we do have a fairly large deaf and hard of hearing student population as well. We are mostly well known for our STEM programs. So engineering and computing are very strong programs at RIT, but we do like people to know that we have programs in all different areas. We have a world-renowned College of Art and Design, a very highly ranked College of Business. We have health science programs, liberal arts programs, and many of these programs are also offered as minors. So if you want to come to RIT for a certain program, but you're interested in other things, there is room for you to take classes in lots of different areas. We also have what we call accelerated dual degree programs. So these are programs that allow you to get your master's degree in 1 extra year as opposed to 2. And then I just like to draw attention to some niche programs that we offer. So these are programs you wouldn't find at very many schools. We were the first to offer a bioinformatics program in the country. We have a medical illustration program, American Sign Language, and then some other ones listed here that are not, very easy to find at very many schools. So we have people looking at us for those. We are a very hands-on university, so 100% of our programs have different hands-on opportunities. I would not ever talk about RIT without talking about our cooperative education program. We're one of 4 schools in the country that has a mandatory co-op program for almost all of our programs. And what that means is most people at RIT, most students have to go out and work full-time in their field to earn their undergraduate degree. So this is part of your school when you're at RIT. We partner with over 3,400 companies worldwide. So there's lots of opportunity for students during this co-op time. Obviously, the big takeaway from this is our job placement rate. We have a 94% roughly job placement rate overall of students finding full-time jobs in their field within 6 months of graduating. But if you dig down deeper on our website and look at specific programs, the job placement rate for many of our programs is 100%. These are some of the big name companies that we do partner with, but like I said, there's over 3,400, so tons of different places that you can get experience while you're at RIT. Research is another big hands-on part of our programs. We have a lot of students that come to RIT and want to do research. These are some of the areas we have research going on. And unlike some schools where you have to wait until you're an upperclassman or a graduate student, you can start doing research as a freshman at RIT, which is really great. You can get right into it. If you're interested in study abroad, we do have study abroad in 55 countries. RIT actually has campuses in other countries, China, Croatia, Kosovo, and Dubai. So that's a very easy study abroad opportunity. And as I mentioned, you can also do co-op in another country. So you could do a work abroad instead. Like I said, we're a big school, so outside of our small classes, we're a very busy place, lots of things for students to get involved with, and we encourage it. Tons of clubs and activities. We have sororities and fraternities. Sports is another way that you can get involved at RIT. We are primarily D3, except for ice hockey. Men's and women's ice hockey at RIT is Division I. If you're not interested in playing a sport at the varsity level, we do offer club and intramural sports. These are some of the activities that we offer for things for students to do for fun, and about a third of our population does participate in intramurals. Performing arts, another thing you can get involved with. We are striving to become the largest performing arts school in the country that does not offer performing arts majors. So we know a lot of students are interested in performing arts and continuing with that in college, but not majoring in it. So we do have a scholarship in performing arts and a lot of facilities either existing or being built currently for the performing arts. This is a pretty standard list of things we require for our application. We do a holistic application review, so we look at everything that you send. We are test optional for this fall and beyond for all programs. So it's up to you whether you do submit a test score or not. These are definitely on our website, so you don't need to, memorize what's required, but it's a pretty standard list. And then to make RIT more affordable, we do offer financial aid through the FAFSA, and then we do offer merit scholarship money to any student that qualifies. So you don't need to apply for these. We do review every student for merit scholarship, and I can safely say that pretty much most students do qualify and receive merit scholarship at RIT. Also, you'll see here, we do offer early decision and regular decision. The dates and all that is on our website as well. We don't have early action at RIT, but if RIT does become your #1 choice school, applying early decision is a great way to go. Easier to get in, you can choose your housing and all of that earlier as well. And then this is my contact information. Again, my name is Molly Lane. My email is here. We do have a lot of virtual things going on right now, tours, academic sessions, interviews. So go on our website under admissions and you can see the different virtual opportunities that we are offering. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.
Great, thank you so much. We will now hear from Florida Institute of Technology.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessie. I'm the admission counselor for South Florida. If you guys decide to apply, I'm going to be your point of contact. Florida Institute of Technology is located in Melbourne, Florida. We offer 4 colleges: aviation, business, engineering, and psychology. You can do your bachelor's, master's, and PhD in almost every single field that we offer. We were founded by an engineer from NASA in 1958. And aerospace engineering to this day is the most popular field of studies at FIT. We also offer a program called Fast Track, where you can get your bachelor's and master's in 5 years instead of 6. The best part about the program is that you're going to be exempt from taking the GRE. So if you know that standardized test is a big deal to you, we have the program to fix that. Our application is rolling admission. Our application is free. We are also part of the Common App. All we're going to require is 1 letter of recommendations, transcripts, and test scores. We super scored the SAT and we also super scored the ACT. So we have no preference between the two. Something unique about our school is that you will start in your major from day 1. So if you know you want to go into engineering, that's what we're going to be looking for your transcripts. We're going to be looking for classes like chemistry, biology, physics, and preferably pre-calculus. We expect all our engineering and science students to start at calculus 1 level. And because of that, you're also going to be able to have early access to all our research programs. Also, all our students' research is already included in your curriculum. So because you're starting your major from day one, you're really going to meet people that are very passionate about what they're studying here at FIT. We have around 3,500 undergrad students, 2,000 students working toward their master's or their PhD here. And you are going to also, like I said, required to live on campus for the first 2 years, but you're allowed to have a car here as a freshman. And that's very unique. A lot of the universities, you're not allowed to have a car as a freshman. 20% of our students are international students. So you're going to meet people from all over the world. Here at FIT, we are Division II for all our sports, but we also have clubs and organizations. We have around 100 clubs and organizations that you can be part of it. We also have fraternities and sororities that you can take advantage of it. If we don't have the organization for you, you can always start one. All you need is 9 students that want to be part of it, and then you can start your own organization. When it comes to internships and co-ops, you can do a co-op that's optional. If you decide that's not for you, then you do a regular internship. FIT is located in Melbourne, the Space Coast. So we are in the heart of everything that has to do with science and engineering here in Florida. You're going to have companies like NASA, GE, Northrop Grumman. They're all located nearby the university. So a lot of our students, they're going to have the internship locally. And after that, a lot of times they think they want to move to a big city, but then they stay here because of the quality of life, but also because of the companies that we have here in Melbourne. Something also the students have to keep in mind when applying to FIT is that we are really going to look at applications based on major. And based on major, because we're going to look, if you want to go into science and engineering, then we're looking for your science and engineering classes. But if you're going into psychology, aviation, if you want to be a pilot, we are going to be looking for the regular high school curriculum. A lot of our students also double major. You can double major in anything that you desire here at FIT. We also offer over 30 minors that you can take advantage of. The only thing we do not offer a minor is in engineering, but in everything else, you're able to get a minor, even for flight. If you are a engineering student, but you love flying and you want to get your license to be a private pilot, you could definitely do it here. You will add it as a minor and you could combine it with your regular studies. We also going to offer our students the opportunity to have study abroad program. A lot of our students going to go to Oxford, England, take a literature class and travel to Europe. But you can also travel for research. And at that time, you would travel whatever professors are conducting research. So we have students that have traveled to Australia, have gone to the Galapagos Island. It really changed every single year. But Oxford, England is offered every single year also. So students have the opportunity to take advantage of those programs. When it comes to the internships, a lot of our students, their dream is to work at NASA. So we do have a lot of professors. They're conducting research at NASA currently. Dr. Kerr, one of our aerospace engineering professors, is actually working with NASA and how fluids are affected by zero gravity. So a lot of the students there get to work with him. They send packages to the space. Okay, sorry. We also have professors they are doing research all over the world. Thank you so much for the time. Again, my information is there in the middle of the screen, and I'm the representative for Florida Tech for South Florida. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very helpful information. Just a reminder, if you have any questions at all, to please use the Q&A button at the bottom, towards the bottom of your screen. That is helpful for us to get your questions answered. Anything at all, we are here to help. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Lawrence Technological University.
Great. Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Carly Miller, and I am an Assistant Director of Admissions at Lawrence Technological University. I know I'm the odd one out. I'm not Lawrence Institute of Technology. So in this session, Lawrence Technological University, and a little bit about us is kind of just geographically, we are located in Southeast Michigan. So if you can see there on the screen, we are about 30 minutes northwest of Detroit. And what's great about the location that we're in is that, so it's Southfield, Michigan is where we're at. So in terms of internships, co-ops, and jobs, we're kind of in the center of the nation's #1 region for engineering, for architecture, for technological careers. And so if that's something that you're looking for, I definitely encourage you to check us out, and I have a little more information for you about the school, about the programs that we offer, into housing, different things like that. And so our size, we're about 3,000 students, but 3,000 students, 2,000 of those are undergraduate students, which means we are a smaller school, like I said, and our faculty to student ratio is 11:1. And so, you're going to be in a class, maybe 20 at the most, but really your professor gets to know you. They get to know what your interests are, and you get to know the other students that are in your cohort, in your classes. So we are really proud that we can offer a personal feel here at Lawrence Tech. And our courses, they're only taught by faculty members, so we don't have any teaching assistants. We use people that are, out, they're professionals that are working, or they're full-time professors. So they kind of know what's going on out in the field, out in the workforce. And so they can bring that back to the classroom to talk about that with the students. And so our college, we were founded as a college of engineering. So we have a lot of programs in engineering, but it's also nice to point out, even though we're in Michigan, we're located in Michigan, we have students that come from all over the United States and internationally as well. So we have about 43 different states that are represented and about 50 countries. So you kind of have a global feel there as well. And so we like to say that our motto, or I like to say our motto, is theory and practice. So really what that means is that we're getting you in the classroom, but we're also getting you in the labs. So you get that theory aspect when you're in the classroom, but then you really get that hands-on feel, and every program has a lab aspect associated with it. So, we don't just want you sitting in the classroom, we want you in the labs. And so whether you're an architecture major, whether you're an engineer, a business student, a scientist, you're in the lab working on the programs. You have the opportunity to do research. We have some great state-of-the-art facilities that our undergraduate students have access to. And so what's also great about Lawrence Tech, technological is our middle name. And so we provide students with a laptop that's loaded with all the software that's needed for the major on it. So you really get to know what they're using out there in the professional world. You already are knowing, how to use that and learning how to use that when you're a student. So we hope that gives you kind of a leg up for when you're going for that internship and co-op. So a little more, since I did say we're a small school, we have everything that the large schools have as well. We have 4 residence halls on our campus. Our newest residence hall is actually just for freshmen. So it was built in 2018. So all of our freshmen do live there. It's community style residence hall. We do have upperclassmen residence halls. And then you're not required to live on campus, but you are encouraged, especially if you live out of state. It's really important your first year to live on campus so you can acclimate yourself to the university, get to know the campus, the area, friends. You're allowed to have a car on campus. It's free, parking's free, but we have a shuttle that can transport you around as well. It only takes about 10 minutes to walk from one end of the campus to the next. So as you know, in Michigan, the weather's not always great. We have about 8 inches of snow here. So having that transportation system is definitely nice as well. We also have athletics, as a lot of the colleges do. So we are in the NAIA, which is kind of like Division 2 or 3. So maybe you're interested in playing a sport. Our newest sports are women's ice hockey, and track and field, and then we have competitive cheerleading. We also have intramurals for those that maybe just want to, have a little bit more fun. So at Lawrence Tech, our application, we are online on our personal site. We're also on the Common Application. And so we, encourage students to kind of apply. You can apply at any time. We don't have a deadline for our application. We only have one to be considered for a scholarship, and that's March 1st. And so, like I said, rolling admission, which is great. You can apply right online. We can waive your application fee. But what's definitely great about that is you get directly admitted into your program. I know many of the other colleges have that as well. And you really get to start into your program, from day one, from semester 1. So you're taking, maybe an intro to nursing class along with your English and sciences, or, intro to design. So we really think it's great that you can apply, You get admitted directly into your program and you start right away. And so what's really great about that is that you also can get started in your internship or co-op as well. And so we have, like I said, we have a great area within, Southfield and maybe an hour of where we are for those internship opportunities. But we have alumni all over the world. So if you want to go back home over the summer and do an internship, we have that for you as well. And we also offer scholarships to our students. We have merit-based scholarships, we have athletic scholarships, we have scholarship competition. We have a lot that we offer for you, and students are allowed to choose 2 scholarships. And so we get a lot of questions too about what we're looking for when students apply. We're looking for rigor of your courses, math, science, different things like that. We want to make sure that you're taking those all 4 years and you're not being an office aide the last every year your senior year. So here's just additional information, the programs we have to offer in engineering, arts and sciences, business information and technology. I'll put my information in the chat if you guys have any questions, and I hope you guys have a chance to visit us digitally or in person. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is really, really great. So we will pass it on over to DigiPen Institute of Technology.
Hello, everybody, and good evening from beautiful Seattle, Washington, in the very green Pacific Northwest. My name's Jeff, and I'm the Director of Outreach at DigiPen Institute of Technology. We are a 4-year private college located in Redmond, Washington, which is just a little bit east of Seattle. I'll show you a map on the next slide of where we are. We were founded in 1988 in Vancouver, British Columbia. And the reason that we have a strange name is because we were started as a digital animation and computer simulation company. The problem is that our president and founder, who is our current president to this day, could not find the talent to complete the projects that came across his desk. And so he decided he needed to start teaching people. We became the first school in the world to offer a degree in video game programming. And these are our areas of expertise: computer science, digital art and animation, game design and development, and music and sound design. We really are focused and well known in the interactive entertainment industry, mostly in the game and animation fields. Where's Redmond? Like I said earlier, we're just a little bit east of the thriving city of Seattle. Lots of tech, huge tech bubble of the country. Lots of beauty, hiking, sightseeing opportunities. There is water all around us. We are a coastal state. There's the ocean nearby. Lots of lakes, mountains, rivers, hills. Beautiful outdoor scene. There's big, huge national parks, peninsulas, islands, as well as a thriving city. This area is the game development hub of the country. There are more games that huge AAA game companies that are here than anywhere else. This is just in the Redmond area, which is the city that we're in. If you play games, you know these companies. Like I said earlier, we are the first school in the world to offer a degree in video game programming. If you look here at the bottom, we are top 5. We are specifically ranked number 4 in the country for best game design school. And we've been in that high ranking for the last 10 plus years. Our students go on and find amazing jobs at a bunch of different tech companies. Microsoft is our top employer. And then other big game companies, animation studios, are kind of the places that our students have their sights set, their eyes set on as when they enter and eventually when they graduate. Our graduates currently work at over 800 companies and have contributed to over 1,500 professional commercial video games. We're a small school, 1,200 students, average class size of 20, 10 to 1 is your student to faculty ratio. It's definitely a family feel. You really get to know everybody here. This is a really neat study that we like to brag about. We are ranked in the top 1% in the United States for your best return on investment, and #1 of all the colleges in Washington State, of which there's more than about 70. So this was a study done through Georgetown University. It is public, and you are able to go sort by a bunch of schools and take a look at it. But we're really proud of that study and the rankings that we have achieved there. Our degree programs, I showed you our areas of expertise on that first slide, but our degree programs fall into 4 different categories, which are computer science, game design and development, digital art and animation, and then music and audio degrees. All of our degree programs come together and create projects that are not only a lot of fun, but you get course credit for those projects that you work on with other students. And you get to keep something that you put in your toolkit for the future. When you're graduating and the employers come to the career fair, for example. So the interdisciplinary work is sort of the pinnacle of our education. Our academic approach is the academic fundamentals, learning from the experts in the classroom, the knowledge and the theory, and then of course, taking that knowledge and applying it with the labs and the projects that you're working on. It's a big, big part of our education and something that we're often told is really helpful for students, not only to work on the academic fundamentals of what you learn in the classroom, but also just how to work with other people in general. This stuff is never made alone or in a vacuum. And so it's really important to learn those technical skills and the soft skills of how to work with other people. Some of our degree programs have portfolios that you have to either submit or write about, whether that's artwork, recording yourself playing an instrument, or writing for one of our game design degree programs about something that you've created. These are all listed on our website. It's just something to take note of, that some of the degree programs take a little bit longer to apply for because of that. Some updates for COVID, SAT and ACT are not required. Unofficial transcripts are. We are in a phased model, so some classes are in person and some are not. Next deadline is April 1st if you're a senior and applying now. And we have a bunch of events virtual, and we are open for campus tours. So check that out on our website. And thank you so much. I'll also put my information in the chat. Thanks for being here.
Great, thank you so much. As we have we're hearing from 2 more representatives. I do want to encourage, if you have any questions at all, to use the Q&A button, and there you can get your questions answered specifically from these representatives from different schools. So different schools, universities, we're here to help. So we'll pass it over to the New York Institute of Technology.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Ulisa. I'm an assistant director for NYIT. I'm going to have a quick presentation. Just give me 1 second. So again, thank you guys for joining. We are a smaller private institution. We have 2 campuses. So we have our New York City campus, which is on 59th and Columbus Circle. And then we have our Old Westbury campus. So the difference between the 2 campuses is just the experience you're getting out of it. New York City is more of the urban campus, and then for the Old Westbury campus is more of the traditional campus. For the most part, our majors are offered on both, with the exception of anything medical related. You'll only find that in our Old Westbury campus. So if you're interested in PT, our BSDO program, or nursing, or even mechanical engineering, again, that would be in the Old Westbury campus. As for the facts of the institution, as I mentioned, we are a smaller school. On the undergrad portion, we have about 3,700 students. So the classes will be smaller. Our ratio is 11 to 1. Biggest class you will be in is about 25 students. And that's usually like the first semester when you're taking a math or writing course, with all freshmen have to take. After that, your classes do get smaller. So you can find yourself in a class with 9 students or even like 7. So we are ranked number 7 in the highest mobility rate, and then number 2 for diversity. So we are made up about our population is about 90 different countries where we have our students, and then from 40 different states. So we're comprised of 6 different schools. We do offer about 90 programs. For the College of Arts and Sciences, we do have psychology. If you're interested in doing a graphic design or digital arts, we also have that. For the College of Engineering, we have computer science, electrical computer engineering or mechanical, and a couple of other ones. We have our College of Osteopathic Medicine. And then for the School of Architecture, we have 2 architecture programs and then interior design. For the School of Health Profession, we have like nursing. If you're interested in like a pre-med track, that would fall under this school. And then we have our School of Management. So the requirements for the programs do vary. If you guys want to ask for the specific requirements, you can do it in the chat and then I can let you know. But for the overall school, you have to have at least a 3.0 GPA or an 80 average, depending on whichever skill you're on. And then we have non-test optional. So these are some of the new programs we are offering starting this year. If you're interested in doing construction engineering or exercise science, you'll find that as well on both campuses. And then for the graduate, we have added new programs as well. And then accelerating your degree. So the difference between the two, so our dual degree programs, students can only come in when they're coming straight from high school. So it's basically doing it, your undergrad and your master's in a shorter time, versus the accelerated master programs, you make that decision once you're ready in the institution. So if you have up till the junior year when you're in college to decide if you want to get your master's, so you'll do it in 5 years as opposed to the 6 years. This, if you've already been a transfer student or have gotten any type of credits, you won't be able to enroll in these programs. As for enhancing your degree, we do have different minors on campus. We do recommend students to minor in something because it does make you more marketable once you graduate. At our institution, you're not able to double major just because the courses are very rigorous. And from day one, you're taking courses in whatever it is you're pursuing. So you won't have a lot of general electives. So that's why you won't be able to double major. As for the state of art facilities, we do have countless opportunities on campus that you can use. The most popular ones are our 3D motion capture lab, our nursing stimulation lab, and then the Hive. So all of these are available to students, and you can do research as soon as you come in as a freshman. And then as I mentioned, we have our 2 campuses. For the 3D motion capture lab, you'll only find that in our Old Westbury campus, but if you're in the Manhattan campus, you can jump between campuses and utilize the resources. As for virtual learning, because of COVID, we have moved to providing online courses for students. So if you're taking, let's say, a lab and it needs the lecture part would be at home, and the lab is when you're coming in person. So you don't necessarily have to come on campus if you're not taking a class with a lab, but if you prefer to do it completely in person, you can do it, or hybrid or completely virtual. And then student resources. So we have countless resources available to students. These are all free. It's not an additional cost, it's already a part of your tuition. The most important one that I tell students to get involved in is your career services. So if you can get in as soon as possible, it's better because they help you find internships. They help you with your resume, doing mock interviews. So it's like practice for any type of job interviews. They also give you business cards. We do host job fairs. So they do usually about like 2 to 3 in a whole year. So you can, again, get the internships from there. If you're trying to find jobs on campus, they also help you with that. As for where our students go after they graduate, so these are some of the companies that our students do end up working for. We do have a 94% graduation rate and a job placement rate within 6 months. And then 77% of the students that have gotten those jobs within the 94 is from internships that they've done while they were at school. And then getting involved, we do have over 60 clubs and organizations on campus. We're no longer offering varsity level teams, but we do have intermediate clubs that you can join. Every academic program we offer has a club associated with it. So if there's something that you're interested in doing that we're not offering, you can always create it. And then we do offer housing for both campuses. They're not on the physical campus. So for the New York City one, there's 2 different buildings. One is on 81st Street on the west side, and then one is on 122nd. And then for the Old Westbury campus, because of COVID, they've moved it to a hotel. But the year before that, it was on SUNY Old Westbury, and then they provide the bus shuttle to take you guys from back and forth between the campus. Housing is not a requirement for first-year students. So we are a large commuter school, so it's up to you if you want to house. And it's, as I mentioned, first come, first serve. So definitely, if you're interested, submit the application as soon as possible so that you can get housing.
Just to ensure that we have enough time, we want to go ahead and make time for the last institution.
Okay. So just really quick, our tuition is $38,000. That's going to remain the same for the next year. If you're interested in doing housing, that would be an additional cost. So it's broken down from there. I will provide my contact information in the chat if you guys have any additional questions when it comes to any financial things that I wasn't able to cover. So thank you again, guys.
Great, thank you. Very helpful. So to close out for this session, last but certainly not least, is Stevens Institute of Technology.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Megan Murphy, and I'm the Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Stevens Institute of Technology. Stevens is a STEM school located in Hoboken, New Jersey, right outside New York City. We're a smaller school with just about 3,800 undergraduates, average class size about 25 students with an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We offer over 30 different areas of study at Stevens, as you can see here, primarily in the fields of engineering, computer science, business, the sciences, and humanities. I'll give a little bit of an overview of each area of study that we offer, but of course, feel free to put specific questions into the Q&A. I'll start with engineering. We have about a dozen different areas of engineering that we offer at our school. You can also come in engineering undecided if you're not quite sure which specific field is of most interest to you. And what's important to note about our engineering program is that it's a Bachelor's of Engineering degree, or a BE. And what that means is every single student, regardless of what area they ultimately end up majoring in, those first 3 semesters, they're pursuing the same core engineering coursework. Obviously, a really good option for someone who's undecided because our curriculum will naturally expose you to the various areas we offer. But even for someone who's more sure about what they want to study within the engineering field, earning a BE is still a good idea because you're typically not only working with one type of engineer. So having a larger understanding of the engineering field will help you not just as an undergraduate, but also when you begin to work. It's also an incredibly hands-on curriculum. So we have what we call the design spine. So every semester as an engineering student at Stevens, you're taking a design class. So a very hands-on project-based collaborative curriculum. Computer science is quite popular at Stevens as well. We break down our program into a computer science degree or a cybersecurity degree. We pulled out cybersecurity as its own degree several years ago, really recognizing student interest in the growing need for folks to be studying within this field for the workforce. Computer science, of course, though, you can concentrate in different areas such as information systems or data structure, so you can break it down into elective level work that's more closely aligned with your interests. In fall of 2019, we opened up a brand new academic building on campus that's home to our computer science, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence programs. We also have a School of Business at Stevens, some programs that are a bit more techie or STEM focused, business and technology, which allows you to combine an area of business with an area of tech. So perhaps you choose economics and computer science, or management and music and tech. You get to choose the combination that works best for you, selecting something within the business school and something from outside of the business school. Also important to highlight our quantitative finance program. It is a pretty unique program at the undergraduate level. Most schools that have something like this, it would be a master's level program. But quantitative finance is a really good program for students who have interest in finance, of course, as well as mathematics and computer science. We have the traditional science programs at Stevens as well, biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics. We're a really good option if you want to go on to medical school. In the 2019-2020 academic year, all of the students who applied to medical school, we had 100% placement rate. So they were all able to move on to that option. So if the health professions are of interest to you, we could potentially be a good fit. And of course, we have the humanities and arts as well. Students can major in these different areas of study. Some of our most popular are music and technology and visual arts and technology. But every student, regardless of what their major is at Stevens, will pursue some liberal arts coursework. No matter what it is that you go on to do, reading, writing, developing that argument, defending that argument are important skills to have, and the liberal arts give our students that. In terms of life outside the classroom, as I mentioned, we are located in Hoboken, New Jersey, and that image you see on the screen is an aerial shot of our campus. So you can see that view that we have of the skyline. We're really just minutes away by a few different forms of transportation. We do have our own 55-acre campus, but we are entirely open to the city of Hoboken. Hoboken itself is just a mile by a mile. So if you're looking for a city experience, but perhaps not an overwhelming city experience, we could be a good fit. And again, you have that access to New York as well when you want to be in a bigger urban environment. We have over 100 clubs and organizations on campus, Division III athletics, club, and intramural sports as well. Lots of community service options, Greek life if that's of interest to you. We also have housing. So our first year students, if they'd like housing through the institution, they live in one of our 7 residence halls on campus. That's the freshman year. Starting in fall of 2022, we will be opening up our brand new University Housing Center, which will also be able to house a sophomore class. So now freshman and sophomore year students will be able to live on campus. And then junior and senior year, if you'd like housing through the institution, Stevens actually leases apartments in the city of Hoboken on your behalf. So you're still considered a resident of the school, but we get you an apartment in the city. As I mentioned, just a mile by a mile, you can easily walk from any of these apartments up to campus. One of the things that a lot of our students like to take advantage of are professional opportunities. While they're undergraduates, they love being inside the classroom, but they also really want to get that hands-on real-world experience as well. They can do this through internships, which are those traditional summer experiences between the academic years. We also do have a cooperative education program at Stevens. So co-op actually takes your time at our school to 5 years. You're doing the first year and the 5th year in the traditional way, taking full-time fall and spring semester classes. And then the 3 years in between, you're alternating every other semester between going to school full-time and working full-time. So you're still completing 8 undergraduate semesters, just takes you a little bit longer to do it because you're stopping to work full-time. You see that we have a 95% placement rate within 6 months of graduation. So our students are doing very well for themselves after their time at Stevens. And we're also high for placement rate as well as return on investment. Just quickly, these are similar application requirements that you've seen from other schools. The one thing I'll just highlight is we did go test optional for fall of 2021 at Stevens. We're currently reevaluating what we will do for fall of 2022. We will make that announcement this spring. So do feel free to check our website for updates on that. We have early decision and regular decision at our school and also require the FAFSA and CSS profile. We do have summer programs too. So if you're looking to do something virtually this summer, we have 11 different programs you can apply to. Thank you so much for your time this evening, and let us know if there's anything we can help you with.
Great, thank you so much. Again, it's so great to hear from all these representatives. As I close out this evening, feel free to submit your last minute Q&A questions. They're here and ready to help. So again, thank you so much for joining us. As I close out this window, there will be a very brief 4-question survey that will appear. We ask if you have a little bit of time to fill that out for us. Your feedback is appreciated. It just helps us to make the sessions better in the future. And this recording will be available a week from today. So if you're interested in reviewing any of the information that was shared or want to go back and review contact information and get in touch with all of the schools and universities that spoke with us today, the recording will be available where you registered for this one. So again, thank you so much for all the participation, for all the great questions so far, and hope you guys all have a great evening.